how were you chosen to be the illustrator for this big mural here in Danville?
Oh, so I actually, it's funny. I normally apply to calls to artists, but this one I was reached out to by James Turner, who at the time was the Riverview Rotary Club president, and he sent me an email. And it turns out that actually, when he sent the email, my dog had just passed, so I didn't actually get it right away. I was on sabbatical, mourning the loss of her, and so my email actually came back to saying, hey, my dog had passed away. And apparently that actually made a huge impact on James. So he emailed again to make sure that I had gotten it, saying, we really, really want your application. And so I sent in my resume and some, just images of my work and everything. And they reviewed everything and then couldn't decide between me and one other artist. So they asked us to submit designs for a stipend. And I basically read the book and came up with a digital concept, drew out my design and submitted it, crossed my fingers and did a little hoop. And I was chosen, and I was absolutely honored. It was very exciting. James called and he said, Carla, are you ready to come to Danville?
Oh, that's so amazing. Well, I'm so glad you got the opportunity to do it. Talk to me about when you first read that book. There's images already in there, and you said before that you wanted to kind of create your own vision. Tell more about that.
I never wanted to infringe on anyone else's ideas. You can take inspiration from other artists, but you never want to copy what they've done. You want to really make it your own. So when I read the book, I just started kind of having these pictures come into my brain, and I thought it was just this really vibrant, kind of cartoony version of these otters taking this amazing adventure down the river. And I thought, what better way to do it than in these extreme colors where, the otters are blue and purple and pink, and they're not really true to life. I really wanted to make sure that as you walked down the riverfront, it wasn't something that you would just walk past. It was something that would really catch your eye, make you want to stop and take photos, and just really enhance the environment to a new level. So.
Mhm. So the mural features, a bunch of different otters and other animal creatures. Why? I guess I know you got it from the book, but like, what did you grasp from like why otters were important to Danville, and how did you incorporate other Danville important things into your mural?
So I really wanted to add in the mill. I know that the mill has undergoing a lot of new changes in that area, and I think that's just really cool to see Danville. From what I've been told, at least, it's not being from the area, it's really made some massive improvements, and so I really wanted to kind of incorporate some of the areas that make a difference in the town, and it is an old mill town, so I thought, well, we definitely have to add that in. The characters, I kind of just thought, what creatures are you going to see along the riverbanks? So some of the characters, the turtle, the beaver blowing the whistle at the start line, the heron, I wanted to make sure that they were in the story. But then there's also a couple of little like fish that I've added in, and ducks and things that I actually saw while I was painting there, which was very, very fun. I always had a gaggle of geese watching me and cheering me on. And I wanted to add them in, but I didn't want them to be the primary focus of the piece. So I kind of added them in as little Easter eggs where they're just a bit of an outline. So they're there, but they're not major characters. But you want to add in the local wildlife that you're going to see while you're walking along the trail. Unfortunately, I did not see any otters while I was there, but I really kept an eye out. And I was really hoping for some. I've heard they were upstream from where I was painting, and I didn't quite see any, but always watch
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I've been here only a couple months. I haven't seen not one otter. So you were in the same boat there for sure.
It's like I better see an otter. Okay, I know they were in there, and they probably come and see the mural, and they're very excited.
Yeah, they'll be like, that's me.
Yeah. Oh, well, just like that. I wanted them to really be exciting too. My favorite otter in it is the very last otter along the mural. It's 150 feet long, so there's a few throughout, but that last one with the look of joy on his face, I just really wanted to add in this kind of big mood happening. So it was just a joyful ending or start, depending on what direction you're walking from.
Yeah, there you go. And so when did you start this project? How long did it take you to outline and paint and do everything?
So I am forgetting the start date on it. Sorry, I've painted a few since then. But it took me 11 days from start to finish. My first day, I got out there, kind of just did a site visit, made sure I had all the materials I needed. Day two, I went out and did kind of a grid system to take my design from small sketch to very, very big. And so what I did was I measured 10-foot increments. And so each 10 feet of my design, I measured out and kind of did a small grid so I could transfer my image onto a larger canvas. And then day two, the paint started. I really wouldn't have finished it in 11 days had the Rotary Club not come out and helped me do some color blocking. So after I got my initial design up, I sort of labeled what areas were what color, and anything that was just a large roller painted or brush painted area, I delegated to one of the Rotary Club members and said, all right, you're painting green where all the green letters are, and go for that. So they really did lend a huge hand. And then I came back behind and added all the details and all that good stuff to make it really come to life.
Mm-hmm. Did you end up, me and my photographer were noticing there was like, did you end up like spray painting over the paint?
Oh yeah. So most of it is spray paint. Any detail work is all spray paint. The only brush painted areas and roller painted areas are like the large color blocking areas. So what I like to do is I'd have someone come out and color block, like let's say it's a purple otter. So they paint the background of the otter purple, and then I come back with all of the extra colors and all that little fur detail. And I use what's a brand of spray paint called Montana Cans. It's my favorite spray paint brand. They are not the kind of things you're going to get at Home Depot. They come without caps, and you buy individual different kinds of caps to make different kinds of lines. So you can get a cap that's going to spray really fat areas. You can get a cap that's going to be really fine detail areas. And then you can get little nozzles that go over those caps to make them even skinnier. So it's really, really fun to work with spray paint. I love it.
That's awesome. And so I guess now, what feeling did you want people to get once they, are walking on the trail and see this beautiful mural? Before it was, just the back of a building. I guess what impact did you foresee? And then did you feel like you accomplished that?
Yes, I wanted people to experience just joy. My art, I want it to bring a smile to people's faces. Really, my favorite thing is when I'm creating the mural, I get to see that happening in real time. Because a lot of the time, I finish a mural, I leave. Half the time, I don't make it back there for years sometimes. So I don't really get to experience people reacting to the piece. But while I was painting it, because it did take 11 days, it was really, really cool. I got to see some of the same faces every day, some of the people who walk the trail on a regular basis. And then sometimes I'd just see a random person being like, what is this? And they get so excited. And there was a couple of times where little kids would just come and run up to me and give me a hug while I was painting it, which is like my heart, it's just so exciting and makes you feel so good. And that you're bringing joy with public art. I think public art is such an important part of community. I feel like it brings people together. It gives them something to talk about. And it just really beautifies the city that you're in. It harkens back to the place and the history of where you are. And I think that just everyone can enjoy it. It's not some piece that you buy and then you put in your living room and maybe you look at it, maybe you don't. It's something that you can walk past every day. It's a destination. And that's the goal that I want for all of my work. And I know that I achieved it with this one because I really got to see it come together, and I got to see all those people just taking photos and little girl posing in front of my piece, striking a pose. And it's just joyful. And that's really what I wanted this one to be.
Yeah, I experienced that firsthand. I completely agree. I was looking at one of the otters and I was like, this is so cute. I loved it so much. I walk that trail all the time. So it is really lovely to see just, not these backs of old factories or warehouses and stuff. Oh, you froze.
Absolutely. Building. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you're freezing.
Anytime I see a blank wall, oh no, sorry. Am I back?
Don't apologize. Yeah, you're good. You're good now. Yep.
All right. Am I back now? Sorry.
We're back. Yep.
It's kind of a weird area. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anytime I see a blank wall, I get very excited. And I think, well, I really hope that they want some art on that because I'd like to just approach them and be like, hey, here.
Hmm.
I think that any giant blank space should be a mural, really. There's so many artists out there, and there's so many different styles of artwork, and it just does so much for the public. I feel like it really puts a stamp on your city. Living in Charlotte, it's become such a public art space. There is public art everywhere. And I really want that to spread out to as many other cities as we can possibly make happen, because I really think that it changes the entire viewpoint of how people look at your city when they come and see it.
Completely agree. I mean, Danville, yeah, I think is definitely trying to do more with public art, and I think they see the value in it, which I mean started with you. Like that's I think the first pretty huge public art we've had in a while. So it's
Oh,
great.
yeah. There's a couple of murals that I saw that were there, but they look like they've been there for a really long time, and there's so many other styles of art and so much vibrancy that you can bring to the downtown area, and seeing all the changes. It's really exciting to have been a part of it, and really, I just hope it continues. And in speaking with the Rotary Club, they seem to have a lot of plans coming down the line. I had two mural consultations while I was there today, after the ribbon cutting. So I am going to be doing a mural for Rick Barker, who owns the Vantage Art Flats, who was kind enough to let me stay there while I was painting the mural. And so now I'll be doing some work for him as well. And then I met with a local church, and we're hoping we can make that one happen too. So I got to get my proposal together and see if they say yes.
Oh, so we can expect to see more of your work coming to Danville.
Absolutely, yes. And hopefully more to come, because I absolutely love being there. I mean, I've referred to Danville as Pleasantville, USA more than one time.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Was there any sort of like mishaps that went along with the process? I mean, just as an artist, there's probably stuff you can't plan for, obviously, but it seems like there was a pretty positive process.
Oh, yeah, everything went super smooth. My only problem is the weather. The heat was almost unbearable. It's been a really brutal summer, so all of my outdoor projects this year have been very rough. I've never been so tan in my life, and I'm Irish and German. It's hard for me to tan.
Yeah.
Just get really pink. But it's been a very, very brutal summer. So I was only able to work during the day until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when it started really getting super hot. And of course, we were in a drought until I arrived, and then the rains began every night. But it actually worked out pretty well, to where it would only rain at night, and then in the morning I would get 5 or 6 hours in painting before it started up again. So it was as smooth as it could be in 90 something degree heat.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. That July was rough. It was rough here.
It was so
Um,
tough. And against a metal wall, too. Like, even if there's a breeze, when you're standing against a wall all day that retains the heat, it's just reflecting that heat back at you. So it's like twice the amount of twice the temperature that it normally would be, it feels like.
yeah, 100%. I get that. Well, is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like, our viewers to know or takeaways?
Just a little bit. So I have been a mural artist for 9 years, and I have been a full-time mural artist for about 6 years. So as soon as I got into muraling, it really took off, and I've been very excited, very humbled to have so much work to where I can actually make this my full-time job. And honestly, I'm just really thankful for places like Danville and the Rotary Club, and just amazing people who appreciate public art, to literally make it a job for people like me, where we can make a living giving art to the public and doing what we absolutely love to do. So I'm just really, really thankful, and I'm appreciative of everyone who's given me the opportunity to share my art with all the passerby that happens to come upon my artwork.
Well, we appreciate you and beautifying our city, and I'm really excited to see more to come from you.
Yeah,
And we'll
so
also,
much.
I took some video of the process, I believe when it was like kind of half done, and then I've got, your Instagram sign and everything. So we'll make sure to plug that in as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I really appreciate you taking the time for me. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for speaking with us today on such short notice and making this work.
Oh, my pleasure. If I had to stop for lunch, I wouldn't be all shaky, but sorry.
No, you're good. The quality is wonderful. Yeah, you're great.
Oh, Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank
It
you
was a
so
pleasure
much.
to
I
meet
can't
you
wait to
as
see
well.
the video.
Yes, I'll DM you the link when it's all ready. I believe we'll have a little bit of news coverage on that tonight, but the full video will be on our YouTube channel.
Rock. Have a beautiful day. Thank
You
you.
as well, Carla. Thank you so much. Have a safe drive home.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.